By the time you see this, Canada will have implemented new laws that make it nearly impossible to fly a drone anywhere legally.
Anywhere? Legally? Not so fast. Hey folks, it's Reviewy McReviewface coming back at you, and today I've been watching this new Peter McKinnon video, and I love Peter McKinnon. Peter McKinnon is awesome. But he was talking today about the new drone rules here in Canada, and let's be clear, flying a drone in Canada, you know, it's never been easy. The rules have always been really hard. Trying to find a space somewhere to actually go that's not within range of a heliport or airport, that's not near buildings or roads or people or livestock was hard enough to begin with. Now, with the new rules put out by Transport Canada, it's even more difficult. Or is it? So if we look at the new rules for drones in Canada, really, they're trying to keep people safe. Drones can be dangerous, and I get it. But it makes it really hard for the hobbyist who wants to get some really cool shots. So if you're looking at the new regulations, you need to get a license. And there are two levels of licenses. So you have your basic operation license and your advanced operation license. Basic operation license, if you meet these three conditions, you're conducting basic operations. So you're never flying over top of people, you're flying at least 30 meters away from them, and you are not flying in controlled airspace near an airport or something like that. Now, so for those first conditions, you need to register your drone with Transport Canada, you need to mark your drone with its registration number, pass the small basic exam, and be able to show your pilot's license. So that sounds really onerous, right? It sounds like, God, I gotta get a pilot's license just to fly a drone? Never mind, I'm out, done, not gonna do it. But this is where you look and you say, okay, out of these, what's so hard? So registering, not that difficult. Just gotta fill in some paperwork for the government. The government loves its paperwork. Marking your drone with a registration number, you got a Sharpie, you can pull that one off. Being able to show your basic operator's license, well, as long as you pass the license, you'll be able to show it. So the small basic exam is a 35 question, multiple choice, that you have an hour and a half to answer, and you only need to get 65%. I'm sorry, that doesn't seem that hard to do. So here's what I'm going to do today. I'm not studying. It says online exam questions are based on the knowledge requirements for pilots of remotely piloted aircraft systems. We strongly recommend taking a course with a drone flight school to prepare for your online exam. I'm not going to do that. No, today I am going to try to take my online small basic exam with no studying, no knowledge, and see if I can bluff my way through. Now, I'm not going to show you the questions. This isn't going to be a way for you to cheat if you want to do this. But I just want to see, how onerous is it? How hard is it to get your small basic license? And you're thinking, Reviewy, why would you do that? Why would you want this? Well, mostly to see if I can. But at the same time, if I can get this operator's license, I can then study up and get the advanced license, and then I'd be able to shoot drone footage, which, you know, would be really handy to be able to have that in my repertoire. Don't have a drone right now, of course, but after you pass your online exam, you'll get your results right after you finish. So you're thinking, well, okay, I mean, it doesn't sound that hard, but it's probably really, really expensive, right? I mean, that's going to be the thing they'll get you with is, so they're going to say, okay, you can take the license, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, right? No, there's a $10 non-refundable fee for basic or advanced exams. Yeah, all right, let's take $10. Let's take the next hour and a half. Let's try to fill out this test. 35 multiple guess questions, an hour and a half to complete it. And all I've got to do is get 65%. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to look up the answers anywhere else. I am actually going to give this the good old college try. And by college try, I mean absolutely no prep whatsoever. Let's see how we do. All right. I'm not a robot. I'm already passing. Look at that. Maybe that's one of the questions. Are you a robot? If it is, then I'm doing well already. I'm not going to let you watch as I put in my payment information, though. I'm ready to continue. Welcome to the Transport Canada Drone Management Portal. Before you start, there are 35 multiple choice questions. The exam must be completed within 90 minutes and the minimum pass mark is 65%. If you close your browser anytime during the exam, you may log in again and resume the test within the allotted time. If you run out of time, it will be automatically submitted and scored. If it's unsuccessful, you can pay to complete the exam again. If you don't pass the first time, you can't take it again for 24 hours. And then you can take it as many times as you want after that. I will not copy, transmit, distribute, share, record, or post any exam questions and or responses electronically, digitally, or by any other means to anyone. I will agree to that. I'm going to start the exam. I'm going to stop the camera. You don't get to see the questions, but I will give you my review once I'm done. Let's get testing.
12.5 minutes later.
And finish. Are you finished? If you would like to review your answers. So out of the 90 minutes, I still have 77 minutes left. I crushed this exam. All right, before I give you my impression, I'm going to submit and see how we did. Because we're going to get our marks right away. Remember, 35 multiple choice questions. I have to get at least 65% to get my small pilot's license. How did we do? Exam unsuccessful. Unfortunately, you did not attain the minimum mark of 65% required for the small basic exam. Dang. Apparently, you can't just randomly guess these things. So let's take a look here. My overall result was 51%. I missed out on my small license by 14%. Considering I had no idea what this was, not bad. I gotta tell you, the questions on this exam, I don't even know if they were in English. There was a lot of stuff in there. I had no idea. I had no idea the abbreviations they were talking about. I didn't know the weather conditions they were asking about. They were showing some charts and maps and stuff and being like, where can you fly? And I'm like, I don't know, north. I have no idea. Not a clue. Most of those questions, it was so far beyond a guess, it wasn't even funny. Okay, it was a little funny. No. So can you pass this exam without studying? Maybe. I mean, it's possible to just randomly ACDCB going through the whole thing. Maybe you'd pass. It'd be a fluke. If you think you can get through this without studying, no. Unfortunately, you know what? You have to know. There's so much more to this. I figured drone pilot, power it on, batteries up, and off you go. No, they want you to know weather conditions. They really want you to be a pilot in order to pilot one of these things. Who knew? So as far as my subject areas, just checking air law, air traffic rules and procedures, I got 9 out of 14. Some of those I think were just dumb luck. Some of them were just kind of common sense. Very few common sense questions on this, though. These are mostly technical. RPA, airframe, power plants, propulsion and systems, I got 1 out of 2. I don't know. Human factor, 0 out of 2. I got 0 out of 2 on the human factor, so apparently I failed the are you a robot question. That's always good. Meteorology, 1 out of 2. I think I remember some of those terms about clouds from junior high science. I don't remember what any of them do, so I got bad on that. Navigation, 2 out of 4. I can read a map, but I probably won't. So basically, I'm a guy. Flight operations, 3 out of 5. Lucky guess. Theory of flight, 1 out of 2. I know that things can fly. I don't know how it works. And finally, radio telephony, 1 out of 4, because I can't even say radio telephony. All right, so I did bad. That's the general gist of this. So if I actually do want to get my license to fly a drone outside of restricted airspace, 300 feet away from people, and never over the top of anyone, I am going to have to study. And I'm guessing from this that if we're talking that this test here was that hard, the advanced one is going to be that much more advanced, that much more difficult. So yeah, you know what? Transport Canada really has put some regulations in place here that are going to make it difficult for the average random hobbyist to be able to go out and fly a drone. If you do want to do it, it's not prohibitive in terms of cost. It is prohibitive in terms of the amount of time you want to put into studying for this test. You probably want to take more than the 12.5 minutes that I took. And you probably want to take more than the 0 minutes I took in studying. So, there you have it. I'm grounded. But hey, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just reviewing how hard it is to get up in the air. I'm Reviewy McReviewface. Out. I'll see you next review. I gotta study.